Which of the following statements is true? Our choices are A, a square is not a rectangle, B, a rectangle is a square, C, a square is not a parallelogram, or D, a square is a rectangle. The strategy I'm going to follow is I'll go through each statement, starting with A, going down to D, and determining whether or not that statement is true or false. And when I find a true statement, then I'm done. So let's take a look at the first one that says a square is not a rectangle. Is that true or false? Referring to this diagram, we see that a square is a subset of a rectangle. So to say that a square is not a rectangle is actually false. A square is a special type of rectangle where all four sides are the same. So that first statement is false. And as you can see, I crossed it off. Now let's take a look at statement B. A rectangle is a square. And for this, all I need to do is to find a rectangle that is not a square, and I proved it wrong. Here's a picture of a rectangle that is not a square. So that proves that statement B is also false. I'll cross that off. Statement C says a square is not a parallelogram. Let's go back to that diagram we used for question A and see if that is true or false. And looking at this diagram, we see that in the subset of parallelograms, a square is included. So to say a square is not a parallelogram is false. I'm going to cross that statement off as well. Well, that leaves me with statement D. A square is a rectangle. And that indeed is true. A square is a special subset of rectangles. In other words, a square meets all the requirement of a rectangle with the extra added stipulation that all four sides are equal. So statement D is the true statement.